plaintiff, Rita Graham, dated the defendant, but she claims he used her for a place to live, a bank card, and a car. Rita claims while living with the defendant, he moved his new girlfriend into their home without permission. So Rita moved out, and she's suing them today for unpaid rent. Defendants Antonio Tharp and Candace Myers say Antonio was in a gang and ran the streets back in the day. But he turned his life around after his only son was murdered. Antonio insists Rita was okay with Candace moving in, and he's countersuing for emotional distress.
Start with you, ma'am.
Well, Your Honor, me and Mr. Tharp, we've known each other since about 2000, and that was the first time that we were in a relationship. And it lasted for about 4 years, but it was an on and off kind of situation. And so I just couldn't do it no more, and I ended it. Whenever he contacted me in 2021 through Facebook about wanting to get back together because he would think of me whenever he was in a bad situation, I would come to mind. He wanted to give me the type of relationship, which is a good relationship, that he should have gave me the first time. Because of me wanting that companionship of another individual, I agreed. But it was
He was the only man in town? This is a small town?
I knew him. You know, he was somebody I knew of, and
You could meet somebody else and know them.
I don't, but I don't get out.
That's when it's time to.
I do my
go
job.
To church?
I work every Sunday. I'm a home health nurse.
How about Saturday?
I work every Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
How
Monday,
about
Tuesday.
Wednesday?
Wednesday, yes, I'm off.
They got Bible study on Wednesday nights at most churches.
Yes, they
Go
do.
there and find you a good church man.
Yeah, well, I need to find me a good church first.
But at least you'll find you one there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I say that because there's this stereotype that all the men and the people in the church are so pure of heart and so sexually conservative. Please, they're doing everything.
Toys on Sunday.
I didn't say that part. I didn't say that part. All right, so, but you know, I think you lacked the aggressive posture you should take if you think that you can't find a man that satisfies you just as much, and I'm not talking about whatever, physically, but that fulfills you as much as he might otherwise be able to do. If he has all these bad characteristics and traits, you need to find a man who can offset his bad traits with some good ones.
I'd rather be by myself.
Traits. Pardon?
I'd rather be by myself.
I don't know about that. Don't do that to yourself.
No, because it turned into a nightmare.
That's just because it's him. That's what I'm telling you.
Defendants Antonio Tharp and Candace Myers are being sued by Antonio's ex-girlfriend, who claims she filed a protection order against them because they threatened her.
How did they go, though, with him? What type of guy is he? Tell me something else, because he's going to come across as a good guy. I can tell that already.
I believe the only thing that he cared about in our relationship was me providing him a place to live, my bank card, and my vehicle.
He didn't have a job?
Well, he got a job, but then lost it, and then had another one, and I moved out, and I don't know what happened with it.
Okay, so now you're helping a man who doesn't work. Taking care of a man who doesn't work, so I'm trying to think. Yeah, you ain't gonna find nothing on Wednesday prayer meeting because the men that can show up there don't work either.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, you can go on Sunday.
I'd rather be by myself.
That's why you don't see too many men at Wednesday Bible study, because they're working.
Right.
So, no, don't go there. You'll find more of the same.
Yeah.
Somebody that ain't working. When do that? Oh, I'm just trying to see when they're good men. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Wednesday Bible study, no, they don't work either. That's all can't come up with nothing but Sunday.
What about Thursday? I'm off Thursdays too.
Choir rehearsal.
Okay. I can't sing though.
All right. Sir, you give me some background. So you pretty much saying that you live off women?
No, sir.
Or that you lived off her?
Well, Miss Graham is going to try to put me out to be a bad person. Well, I grew up in Detroit, the same as you.
What high school?
Well, I went to Boynton. I didn't go to high school there. I was back and forth through Louisville and Detroit because of my past. At the age of 9, I witnessed a good friend of mine murdered behind his uncle on PCP in our neighborhood. I decided from there to go
What neighborhood?
In the Lincoln Park neighborhood. I went from there, I started into the gang life and drug dealing. So
What city? This after you moved?
Yes, sir. I was back and forth from Detroit to Louisville.
So you were in the streets in Louisville, you were in the gang
sir.
life?
Yes, sir. From there, like I said, I went into the life of dealing drugs in the gang. And when I got with Miss Hall in 2000, I kind of slid back into that life, dealing drugs and stuff like that, until 2008.
When you got with her,
I was back
in the street. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she says you didn't have any money.
Yeah. Well, I
Was he in the street when he was with you? Was he a hustler when he was with you?
I didn't see him a whole lot. He was in and out of jail.
So.
And I want to make a little statement.
So he was hustling backwards. That's what we call it.
He referred to me as Miss Hall.
Make money, go to jail, then you got no money. Come back out, hustle, get some money, then go back to jail, then you have no money. That's called hustling backwards. Go ahead.
He referred to me
Say
as
he was a backwards hustler.
Yeah, he's something. He referred to me as Miss Hall, and I was at that time Miss Hall. But I'd gotten married and we're separated at the time.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right, so you were in the street then when you met her. She says you were broke, though, but you go ahead.
That's her point of view. But in 2008, I changed my life around behind the death of my son.
How old was he?
He was 19. He was 3 days away from being accepted into a major college, which is U of K.
University of Kentucky?
Yes, sir. He was in chemistry. So,
talented chemistry, and got admitted to University of Kentucky. We could have. They do good with young men, particularly the basketball team.
Yes, sir.
At the University of Kentucky.
Yes, sir.
They do a great job. Coach, who's a friend of ours, Calipari, and my friend works with him in helping a lot of the young people at University of Kentucky. Corey does. God bless you, and you did an excellent job, and unfortunately his life was taken away, no doubt, in the street by somebody.
Yes, sir.
He probably wasn't in the street. He's just an innocent cat.
I can't say he was innocent. It was over a dice game where he won the money, and
yeah, but he wasn't involved in criminal activity, and he wasn't. His
sir.
life wasn't.
Well, it wasn't all good.
He didn't live a life of crime, did he?
Huh?
He didn't live a life of crime, did he?
No, sir.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Just shooting dice and getting into an argument and getting killed. That's not living in a life of crime. He didn't do much wrong. You know, all of us sit around and shoot dice in the past.
Yes, sir.
And as young people, and you didn't get killed for it. There's too many guns. People get an argument now, they just shoot and kill.
Yeah.
They don't fight no more. What people used to fight over, they now shoot over because they have more guns.
Defendants Antonio Tharp and Candace Myers are being sued by Antonio's ex-girlfriend, who claims she filed a protection order against them because they threatened her.
Miss Myers, is that your name?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you want to speak? Give any background? Because you're on here too as a litigant, suing you.
Yeah, I don't owe Miss Graham any money for rent. I paid rent while I was there. I don't have any evidence, just verbal between myself and Rita. All of our stuff that we had in the apartment when we got evicted out got ransacked, and there's guess if you would turn to page.
Well, you were jumping into defending the lawsuit. I'm going to allow her to tell me,
Well,
and
I'm
then
sorry.
I'll let you defend and provide the evidence in your defense. Ma'am, what do you want to tell me about the rent? How do they owe rent?
Well, whenever I got the apartment in October, Mr. Tharp verbally agreed to pay half of the rent to help me out while he lived there. You know, we'd split the bills. So I got the apartment, and I didn't receive anything from Mr. Tharp. October of 21, November, December, January, or February. I received nothing.
Okay. And what happened from there?
Miss Myers gave me $100 cash. Actually, that was by an accident that she gave that to me. That was at the end of
Why
December.
did she give it to you? Something I'm missing. I thought he was living with you.
He was. She moved in.
Yeah, you missed that big point.
Yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. He moved her in right after Christmas of 2021 without my permission. I go
You all
home.
still dating?
Yeah, well, supposedly. I go home and she's there. And he says, "This is Callie and you're Kay." My middle name's Kay. Why is she here? My buddy went to jail. She don't have a place to live. Okay. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I am the type of person, I can't turn somebody out on the street. So in December, she gave me $100 by accident because she had already gave Mr. Tharp $100 and they went out and got stuff. And that was the only money that I received from Miss Myers.
Let's go back to how you accepted her
I felt like
residency. How
I
did
felt
you
like I
allow
didn't have
her
a
to stay in
choice.
your home? Why not?
I felt like I didn't have
Why
a choice.
Not? Why?
Because of him. He made me feel like that I had to do it stuff his way or no way.
Okay.
You know, he's a very intimidating man. I mean, shoot, I couldn't even drive my own
You
vehicle.
ever say, "I don't want her staying here. Would you please get her out"?
Yes, I did.
What would he say?
She's staying here. You ain't making her go anywhere.
All right. And you never thought to call the police?
I felt
Since
like
he's so intimidating.
I
and
felt
you're
like
so scared of him.
I felt like it would be a he said, she said situation, and it would be a waste of time for the
The
police.
police can tell her to get off your property. She's trespassing. That's all. Police, she's trespassing. Will you get her out?
Then they would pull the card. I received mail here. This is my
Oh, she
residence. I don't know. I didn't see
You
any
don't know
mail.
whether she received mail?
I cannot honestly
All you know
give
is
you
you
an
let her
answer.
stay there against your will. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, against your will, she stayed there. You have anything to say about that, sir? She said you forced Miss Myers on her. You all were dating. You brought Miss Myers there, and she asked why was Miss Myers there. You told her she's staying there. She said on several occasions she wanted you to move her out, and she asked, and you in very strong and intimidating terms told her she wouldn't go anywhere. What do you have to say?
Sir, well, the way Mrs. Myers became a resident was when I was out of the house. They had their verbal agreement where she was always...
They knew each other before you?
No, sir. I'm talking about this was after Miss Myers had been there for a while.
No, I'm not talking about been there for a while. Move in.
Move in.
You remember? Hold on. Let me make it clear to you. Maybe you weren't listening. I'm asking you about when she came home and you had Miss Myers there, and she said she didn't want Miss Myers there.
She didn't say that.
Defendants Antonio Tharp and Candace Myers are being sued by Antonio's ex-girlfriend, who claims she filed a protection order against them because they threatened her.
You never told him you didn't want her there?
You didn't say that in the beginning.
In the beginning, I was okay with her there for a few days.
Okay.
You know, like I
A few
said.
days later, did you tell him to have her leave?
Yes, I did.
No, she
All
did
right.
not.
She never told you to have her leave?
Not in the few days that she's saying.
When did she?
She didn't say that until after her co-workers seen.
I don't know when that was.
That
What
was
month?
in, it had to been in February.
So in February, she asked you to have her to leave?
Yes, sir.
And what was your response?
I was like, well, you made her a residency here when you took her money.
How
Cause
much money did she take?
she took 100 and then it was another 100 that was given to her.
Mm-hmm.
And
what month was that?
That was in,
Ma'am, what month did you give her these $100?
That was right after, I moved in on December 25th, which was Christmas. December 26th, when she got home from work, I handed her $100, and she said, "What is this for?" And I said, "This is for rent. I don't expect to stay for free." And I'd bought a bunch of household cleaning supplies, supplied groceries.
When did you provide the other 100 in rent?
About 5 days later is when I gave her the other
All
100.
before January.
And she had
Did she ask you for rent in January or February?
No, sir, she told me that she didn't want money for rent from me, but I said I don't live for free, and I had given
Ma'am,
her
did
that
you
money.
ever say that?
No, sir.
Okay, anybody have any evidence, communications regarding rent? Nobody has
Plus,
anything.
she
So I
never
gotta
asked
try
me
and
for rent.
Figure out who's telling the
I
truth.
could
And
say
if I
something
can't,
now.
both your cases are dismissed. I must tell you.
The only thing that I
can't
have,
hold it out.
I have evidence of where the rent was taken out of my personal checking account.
Yeah, but what she's saying is that she's a resident and that you must evict her through the legal process. That's what they're saying.
And I did do that, sir.
And what happened?
They got evicted.
You have the judgment?
Yes, I do, sir. Let's see here.
Order for protection? Who'd you have to get an order of protection for?
Because she threatened to cut me, and he threatened to have somebody beat me up, and then they were sending me text messages every day, harassing me while I'm trying to work.
All over what?
Just whatever he felt like sending me.
Come on, I had to have a reason.
Now, what is it you wanted to point to?
On page 3, you will see where I had them evicted. The order from
restitution. Okay, it wasn't a money judgment. It was just telling them to get
Right.
out. And then what you do after you get a writ of possession, get your property back, then you do sue for the rent that they failed to pay during that time frame, so that you're doing exactly what you were supposed to do. All right. And any response to the writ and to the protection order?
Sir, the writ, she didn't even have to have that. I didn't even go to court for that. I told the judge right then and there because I felt like we was railroaded from the beginning. I told the judge, I said, there's no even, we didn't even show up for it because we wasn't threatening
Because you
her.
hadn't paid her. Go ahead. What else you want to tell me, sir? About
as
the
far as
protection
rent-
order. Why did you think she had to get that?
Listening to her co-workers or anybody else, all it was she scorned love and it was out of revenge. Other than that, we wouldn't even
Then what?
Scorned love and it was out of revenge. She got mad.
Got a protection order out of revenge?
Yeah, really, because all she's doing is
Did you tell the judge that?
we didn't have time to tell the
He didn't
judge
let
nothing.
us-
He gave us
You
20.
say you didn't show up.
No, I'm talking
for the
about for
protection.
the
Oh, we're talking protection order.
Oh,
protection order. There wasn't no reason for it.
I
We
wasn't-
bothered.
I know, but did you tell the judge that?
I didn't even go to court.
I know. So that's why you got it, and I don't know. All I can conclude is that it was deserving.
Yeah, but
you
he was
didn't
gonna-
show
he was-
up.
he was gonna
She
gi-
did,
but he
and
was
she
gonna
got
give
the
it-
order.
He was going to give it to
I
her
understand.
anyway.
He wasn't going to give it
Yes,
to her
he was,
at a
because-
hearing.
Right.
I'm a judge, sir. Stick in your lane. Do what you do, all right?
Do what I do.
Do what you
Well,
do.
all right. If
Live
that's
off
what it-
women,
that's
all
what
right?
it is.
You do that, big fella.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I believe you based on everything I've seen, this protection order. You have an eviction judgment, meaning they were legally evicted. So I'm granting you your judgment, and I don't think
Hold
you
on.
suffered any emotional
I did.
distress.
I
I
lost
don't
my
think so.
job. I
Bye.
lost
Your
my
claim
job
dismissed.
behind
Bye.
that.
You know, how could he stand there and say the stuff that he said when he put me through what he did? I'm a nurse. I take care of special need kids. I don't just do an 8-hour day. I literally do 62 hours in 5 days just so this child has somebody to take care of her. And I get stuff like that.